Tipping the scales about 3,200 pounds as we see it here today. Wolf Pup 16FQ by Cherokee here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. This is a popular little couples camper that packs 10 pounds of features into a 5-pound sack. Now, one of the first things I want to check out as we walk in here is the entry door. Notice this now has a full viewing window in it. That was probably the #1 piece of feedback I heard across all of Cherokee RV the last couple years. They lacked a window in the entry door. So not only did they put a window in there, it's not just like a frosty glass window, it's a full-on viewing window so you can see what's going on your campsite. You'll see this is an easy cleaning carpetless model. The recent update to their decor package is going to be polarizing to some, and I always like to know, what do you folks think about this? They have like a darker espresso wood tone, and they don't have different wood tones. This is just what this thing looks like. Now, Black Label Wolf Pups will be slightly different inside. They'll have a little bit lighter fabric on the dinette cushions, and they'll have a solid surface countertop over here on the kitchen. Other than that, they're absolutely identical inside of here. Well, no, the Black Labels also have a bigger bath fan. Anyway, you get the idea. The point here, though, is this is the wood tones. This is what they look like. Do you like it? Do you hate it? And if you hate it, don't worry. We have other things here at Haylett RV, from Wildwood, J-Flight, Catalina. We've got lots of different options for you. Now, the little headrest that we're looking at here, just something, I just kind of set this thing up a little bit differently. Those are actually little armrest bolsters for the side of the sofa, but I thought, hey, I don't know, kind of want to give this thing a little bit different look, so I set them up almost like headrests, which is cool because it actually works in this floor plan very, very well. Now, this is a little camper, but it actually gives us some very nice big camper things, like a normal front walk-around bed that we're going to see in just a moment, as well as normal front walk-around bed storage. And you can see they're giving us a full overhead cabinet, which you don't often find in little campers, while still maintaining the dual side hanging closets, both of which have their own little miniature kind of nightstand outfitted with household and USB plugs. That's what's kind of nice about this. It gives you the benefits of that easy walk-around north-south bed setup here when you want it. Now, there's no rule that says you have to use this as any form of Murphy bed. If you want to replace the mattress, you just want a fixed bed, you don't want the flippy, uppy, downy bed, no big deal. Nothing says you have to use it that way. You could leave it like this full time. But what's cool is it gives you the opportunity, if you have guests over, if you have extra bodies, or if it's rainy and you just need the extra day space, you can put the bed away and give yourself some very much needed room in this otherwise, little compact camper. Now, what's kind of cool with this bed setup, you still maintain the normal outside underbed storage, but since the sofa here is an easy lift variety, like it can just kind of jackknife in place and hold itself. There's no voodoo magic going on here. You can notice, I didn't try to like wedge a piece of wood under it. It can just kind of hold itself there and give you access to the storage below the bed, just like you would normally have. Now, a little bit closer look at those side stands. You see some household outlets, USBs on the other side. This is a USB hub, but it's also like a mount for like a removable kind of Bluetooth speaker, proprietary to the manufacturer of that component, LCI. Now, the RV that we're physically in today does have the juice pack option on it, which is a 50-watt roof solar package. It's made for just kind of battery maintenance, as well as if you just want to run lights and fans and get some extended time with that 12-volt compressor fridge we're about to see you can. It was at 11.4 volts when I got in. You can see it's slowly fighting its way back up even now with all the lights running as long as I've been doing all this. This is where you could hook up the LCI Wi-Fi Connect hotspot over here. I think it's One Connect is the technical name for it. If you do feel like getting access to some, mobile data things, that's the easiest way to do it. And they used to make one door that flipped up, but it wasn't strutted, so it kept falling on your head. I'm really glad they swapped over to a pair of doors like that. Now, over here, Wolf Pup was the first in this class. Wildwood was the first mainstream manufacturer to standardize the 10.7 cubic foot 12-volt DC compressor fridge. Which is a mouthful to say. But Wolf Pup was the first in this class to standardize its use. So it gives them a huge amount of cold storage capacity. Now, down below here, below the sink, you can see space for wastebasket, extra shelf below the sink for just generic stuff. But up top here, you've got a large, big radius sink below a very stylish, geometric-looking faucet right there. I love that thing. It's very minimal, very sleek. Has a good look to it, actually. But the sink cover can actually double as a bit of a side splash if need be for easy cleaning. The stovetop has that folding glass, tempered glass cover. Now, and I can't believe I even have to explain this to people, but this is how you cook on the stovetop. It is not a glass cooker. You don't turn the burner on below the glass. And some people, it's going to blow their minds that I'm even explaining this out loud, but I'm doing it for a reason. I've seen reports of people doing that, and I would really like to make sure our customers don't encounter that situation. But that could also all just kind of seamlessly slide away and give us some pretty decent prep space in here. There's also, they have it listed as a little hand sanitizer kind of pump. I'm sure a lot of people will hook that up for like hand soaps for washing your hands. But, I mean, really, it's just kind of whatever you feel like using it for. As we work our way around here, let's look up top real quick at the entertainment stuff. It has inside and outside speakers, but they've recently added this ceiling-mounted subwoofer up here. And I'm not, you know, the super audiophile that I once was, but I do like music, and I do like it too loud, which is why I have a constant ringing in my ears. You know, folks, kids, man, if you are watching this, please listen to your parents. Use some ear protection, because I have irreparable hearing loss as a result of my penchant for loud bar rock and roll music that I used to play. And, you know, it was avoidable, but, you know, it wasn't cool to wear earplugs. I don't care about being cool. I wish I wasn't as cool, and I wish my ears didn't ring constantly, but hey, that's just me. There's a little, you know, life lesson from your Uncle Josh, the RV nerd. Carpetless, easy cleaning flooring here. Now, in the, again, standard Wolf Pup series that we're in, you'll have the sealed edge counters, the thermofoil counters through the entire RV. Whether it's Black Label or not, you'll always have them over there on the dinette. You can see our TV hookups if you do choose to add a TV to the camper directly across from that Murphy sofa, that cinema sofa kind of setup right there. Now, up top here, our command panel. There's a hidden version of the LCI One control system going on in here, so that if you want to sync your phone to this thing, you can do so, and basically control like your water heater, water pump, awning lights, the awning itself, right from your phone. Now, it's a very basic version of that system, but it is nice that it's there. But what's nicer, I guess you could say, is if you don't want to do all that, if you're not like, dude, I'm not super techie boy, you don't have to. There's just switches for all that stuff. Bluetooth stereo system over here, and it looks like the last guy had it tuned to the local rock station. Me and him ought to hang out sometime by the campfire, but again with the volumes down low and ear protection. HDMI plug on that as well, and this is just a powered USB plug. So like if you have a Fire Stick, Amazon Fire Stick, or a Roku or something, you can plug the stick in there, power it from there, and be able to enjoy some entertainment. Very handy if you utilize that Wi-Fi prep thing. USB and household outlets, just like around the bed, because this over here, oh man, this can fold down into a sleeper, but first, just huge window. Now, I got the shade drawn, obviously, but it doesn't, you know what, let me just pop that open real quick. The camera doesn't like it, but I want you to see it, because this, I think, is a huge focal point of the camper. But, you know, if you just sitting here at the dinette, looking out, just enjoying whatever sights your site provides, that's just awesome. And not a lot of little campers have just a mega viewing super window like that. But for obvious reasons, we're going to close that back up now. And as mentioned, down below here, that can fold down into a bonus sleeper. It's good for a big dog, a little kid, or a touch of cargo. Speaking of which, they have full storage below those dinette benches. Now, if you look in the back, you might notice a little carpeted hump right there. That's actually the wheel well. It just kind of hides under there a little bit. Kind of unavoidable in these little camper segments. Sliding our way back past that big old fridge, we have ourselves a pretty decent bathroom. Actually, I think it's one of the best qualities of this camper. Although, one of the things that I like to kind of share is like, and I want your feedback too, if I could change one thing in this camper, I would make this like a medicine cabinet, not just a mirror on the wall, but that's easy stuff for us to handle here at Haylett RV. With this being a wood-studded sidewall, you could add cabinetry all over the place. So that's mine, and I'd be curious to know, what would you change? If you could change one thing or two things or anything on this RV, what would make it your ideal camper? Let us know. You know, sometimes you'd be surprised what kind of feedback that can get to the manufacturer. So the full shower surround paneling here, that is one of those things that kind of doesn't usually happen in this class. And this is what I'm going to call the Cherokee shub. It's not a shower. It's not a tub. It's not really a big step-in tub. It's not really a super shallow direct step shower. It's kind of something in between. And no matter what, like if they go with a shower, they're wrong. If they go with a tub, they're wrong. Now with the Shub, I bet people are going to say they're wrong. Once again, what do you think, folks? Now remember how that was fighting between 11.5 and 6 volts? It's already got the battery up to 11.9 volts and all the lights are still screaming. It is still slowly climbing its way back up, even just during the time that I've filmed this recording. And we begin outside in a big compartment below that bed, giving you lots of room if you got like some bag chairs or something like that, or something like a griddle, a Blackstone, and wouldn't you know it, there's a handy little gas grill quick connect located right below that, always near the front of a Cherokee camper, whether it's a Wolf Pup, Gray Wolf, Cherokee. And that's one of the things I really like about this brand is their consistency. There's also little things like this, stabilizer jacks on the front of this little camper. That sounds like a, yeah, no brainer, no kidding kind of thing. It is not a feature that you find all over the place in single axle campers. So it's something I definitely want to point out so you folks can, you know, really grasp onto that. Because, I mean, along with the stable steps that we're looking at, those MORryde steps, this camper will be much more stable and sturdy when you reach your site. So if you're, you know, rolling over in bed or getting up to go to the bathroom, you're not going to wiggle the whole camper around, or just as you're walking in and out. Now up front here on the tongue, it's the devil's in the details. Like we got the little safety chain hooks, we got the 7-way plug buddy, but there's also the new Cherokee Quick Jack. Take a look at this, in 8 seconds, up and down. You know, with a handy little power drill that, generally speaking, most people have when they're camping anyway. You can have that jack up and down. It's very useful, not just for, you know, setting camp, but also if you have like a weight distribution system, because to use those properly, you should be cranking the tongue of the trailer up and down a few times. Now the exact same adapter that you would use to on that drill to power that tongue jack basically would also work on the corner stabilizer jack. So that one thing is already doing 2 things for you, which I think is pretty handy and pretty smart. Now over here you see a full outside utility shower. That is another really standout feature on single axle campers that you only find about 50% of the time. Down on those slick looking mag wheels we have tire pressure indicating valve stem caps. It's nice at a glance to kind of have a little peace of mind to know if you got the right PSI in those tires. I will say though, I always err on the side of caution. Even despite having those things, I would still manually double check before I left just to make sure. Now you might notice that bright white courtesy light above our sewer hookup station right there. There's a switch for that inside separate from every other switch, and that will give you, you know, an easy ability to be able to see outside your camper in the evening hours. Or I guess early morning hours, to, you know, be able to hook everything up and make sure you have secure connections, because when you're messing with sewer stuff, that is not where you want to do guesswork. The RV does have a fully walkable roof, and on the back here we see that 200-pound rated cargo rack with spare tire. You do not need to take the tire off to flip that rack down, but that rack can be good for things like bicycles, coolers, maybe a little portable generator. There's a lot of different benefits that you can get out of that. Now over here below our power awning, we've got Party Central going on. So there's lighting below the awning. You can, remember, hook up to the awning via the LCI One Control app on your phone and be able to operate that remotely. You've got your dual outside speakers. There's backlighting in those that's also keyed to the awning. Big campsite windows. I'll remember, you're always going to be able to really look out here and enjoy your sight on this camper. It's very good for that. TV hookup down below if you are so inclined. And then just the little, I don't know, call it the pup hutch. Just a handy little spot where they had some extra room inside behind and under the sink. They didn't want to go to waste, so they're including extra outside kitchens. This is one of the reasons why, like, you know, that has a little bit of weight to it. Wolf Pups have gained a little bit of weight in the last couple of years. They've gained a couple dollars. They've gained so many features, though. Having this plus the fridge inside gives this thing the equivalent cold storage capacity of many fifth wheels, guys. In a little 16-foot box, what, 20-foot tip to tail kind of camper? That's pretty awesome. Little leash latch down here. Those are good for more than just pets and drunken uncles, by the way. If it's a little bit windy, you can kind of hook up some of your campsite stuff to make sure the wind doesn't go taking things down the road without your consent. And then, of course, a good look at that little nerdism number 37, the InvisiView entry door here. It's basically a glass front door, so that's where it gets that just like insane reflectivity. Although I love the way they frost it down here. I think that's just that little Wolf Pup or Gray Wolf or Cherokee, depending on what you're looking at. It gives it a cool look. It is friction hinged. And even though you couldn't see it from the outside, you can clearly see that full, viewing window from the interior. I don't know, just little eye candy features like that. And it's more than just eye candy. That's a super useful feature as well. That's something you're going to use every single time you're camping. I guarantee you're going to look out the window. So handy stuff that they're putting into these. And I think that was probably the #1 bit of feedback Cherokee had the last couple of years. No window in the entry door. They nailed it. And they nailed it in a really cool way. They didn't just do the minimum. They did something really nice. Smart updates like that quick jack, the InvisiView door, just touches have really, really put the icing on the cake of this one. If you agree, let us know. If you disagree, let us know. I'll get you some Black Label footage at some point if I don't already have it recorded, and I would like to know which way you prefer, Black Label versus Standard. And as always, give us a call at Haylett RV, because we don't do hidden dealer fees, but we do everything else. Hitching, pieces, parts, trades, finance, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, and everything in between. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.